Welcome back, everybody, to the Butler Bulldogs Dynasty. We got our first conference win in the series last episode versus North Dakota State. And one guy that really stuck out was Sambo Wallace on the defensive side of the football. 2 sacks in that game, and he is technically not even the top overall defensive tackle we have on our roster. He is a guy that's really just a backup, but he showed up big. And for that, we are definitely going to get him more playing time. We also saw a big game from wide receiver Milo Brown. He is 6'3". He's got really good size and ability to go up and get the ball. Now, he will have some room to grow. He is actually impact development, so his caps are going to be a bit higher than anybody with normal. And I think for a 1-star prospect, I think he has a lot of room to grow. I think he's going to be really good. I am going to use him in a lot of jump ball situations, and that's kind of what he is kind of known for, being a 50-50 ball type of receiver. And he will improve his route running as he does develop. This episode is really the gauntlet episode. We play Nebraska and Notre Dame both on the road. But as you know, in real life, as small teams play bigger schools, they get paid a sum of money. So playing these 2 schools will allow us to recruit more heavily in the 3-star prospect range next year. This year, we've been emphasizing a lot of 2-star prospects, and that's kind of what we will go after here in Season 1. But next year, we will have a bigger budget. We will go after some 3-star prospects after playing these top schools, these blue blood schools. But they have a loaded roster. And honestly, going into this game, I'm going to be looking to probably just be able to come up with some stops on defense. I will be happy with that. Obviously, a win would be great, but let's just be real. Our roster is not even close to Nebraska's or Notre Dame's, but I saw some good things in the first couple of episodes, and I think this team does have some potential with some players, but we're going to start to learn about this team as we go past this non-conference schedule and into conference play starting next episode. But we do have a bright future, I believe, and it starts with some of our top recruits. The number 1 guy being 2-star prospect Quincy, Missouri, who is very, very close to a commitment out of Germantown, Tennessee. You see, he has the mental abilities. He has 2 of them with clear-headed and a winning time. But his throw power and his accuracy, in combination of his acceleration and speed, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's going to be a really good player for this offense and probably could unlock a lot of receivers and getting the ball to them, because right now I think throwing the ball is really a big weakness of ours. Another guy I want to emphasize here down on the board is 2-star prospect out of Franklin, Wisconsin, Damian Branson. One thing I like about him is that he has one of the higher play recognitions I've seen from a 2-star prospect at 76. And he's a guy I do really want to get because, you know, our defensive line is pretty bad with stopping the run. So I definitely want to get some run stuffers. I think Branson will contribute to that. We do have a cornerback here in Tavarius Gallo, who I will go after. He is out of Indiana, which is obviously going to give us a big boost in recruiting. We are going to go after him a little bit harder. Now, I do need offensive line, and that is probably one of the bigger issues that I've seen. And I think I'm going to attack this with some high school prospects and then also wait for the transfer portal in the offseason to recruit some guys that could come in and help us out. But I like JD Campanaro as an offensive lineman. He's a local kid out of Indiana as well, and he will get 25 points. We do need to get a couple of quarterbacks, not just one, because I want to develop more than one guy, and Dennis Hicks is a mobile quarterback. A pocket passer quarterback, I should say. He is not very mobile, and one thing I like about him, though, is that he does have good short accuracy. He's got a decent arm downfield, 87, which would be, you know, the top arm on our team right now as far as arm strength. But as you can see down on our recruiting board, we have about 20 guys we have active points on. We have 30 targets right now, but I'm going to cut that down to about 20 targets, and it probably will be cut down from there even further, as like I said, I want to recruit in the offseason for the transfer portal as well. It's not all about getting a lot of recruits in. I think it's getting the right recruits in, and as I get the main base of our recruiting class in, I will start to, you know, look at some other guys around the nation. So here we go. on the road versus Nebraska, as they will start out with the rock, and at the 26-yard line, and out comes Dylan Raiola, and he is in his sophomore year. He's got a ton of weapons to play with. Can Butler just make it look close? The first pass is out to left side. This one is going to be caught, and it will be a quick first down here for the offense. In the I formation this time, giving it off to their running back, Dante Dowdell, who breaks free and gets across the 50 on the first carry that we see right there, as they're now on the opposite side of the 50. Looks like stacked formation on the right side. There is a big run to the outside, tackled by number 10, the junior Gage Van. But a big-time run by the offense of Nebraska. As now here's Raiola throwing to the end zone, and there is number 10, Gage Van. He jumps off of the screen like every single game he's making plays. Maybe it's because he's the only one making plays. Raiola on a 3rd and 12 throws this one out of bounds. And we do come up with a stop as they bring in the field goal kicker, and I will take it, an opening drive field goal for the Cornhuskers. So here we go on offense, and a big emphasis of this offense is giving the ball to Doug Hennessy, and he picks up a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 now, play action fake. Here comes the pressure, and they get to Mitchell Cromwell. He goes down all the way back at the 19, and here we are for a 3rd and 16. Cromwell stepping up in the pocket. He's got a lot of room to run. One man to beat. He jukes him inside and is still short of the first down marker. And based on where we're at, we're going to end up punting it away. Here is Dowdell getting the next carry to start the next drive for Nebraska. As he picks up 8. They stay in the I formation, run the same exact play. Here is Dowdell with great blocking, finds the open lane and picks up a first down. I think they found something with this run game as they run the same play twice in a row. Raiola this time keeps it on the read option. He has the first down. Gage Van there for another tackle. He's having a good season through the first 4 games as Dowdell does get taken down, and that time for a gain of 1. They eventually get it inside the 10 now. Raiola throws short. This one's caught by the tight end, Corey Roberts. Actually, that's Thomas Fedone for a touchdown, and he will make this a 10-0 game here for Nebraska. Can Butler answer back? You know, one thing about our offense is that we cannot throw the football down the field, so if we can't get anything short, we're going to be in trouble. So we're going to start this next drive out with a run, and that one is going to be a gain of 3. And now we get it to about the 28-yard line. Now it's a 3rd and 7 as Mitchell Cromwell throws to the right side. The pressure was getting there. No separation by the receivers. Holding call on the offensive line, and we will have to punt this one away. So we start the second quarter as Nebraska does start out this drive with pretty good field position as well. Play action fake throwing across the middle. This one's caught. It's Fedone again, and he gets it inside the 20-yard line with that catch. Is now they're threatening to score once again, giving the receivers a lot of cushion on the outside. There's a big run, though, to the 1, and it's Dowdell who almost punches it in, as he remains in the backfield in the I. We've seen this a lot today. Another stretch play, and there's a nice stop in the backfield by Bo Ray, the redshirt freshman defensive end. Back at the 3-yard line for a 2nd and goal. Back to Dowdell. He's untouched into the end zone for a touchdown, and Nebraska takes the 17-0 lead here on Butler. In front of this pretty sold-out crowd here. They are up by 3 scores as here comes Butler back on offense. And here another 3rd and 11. Here is Cromwell throwing short. This one's dropped, and he was looking for Stephen Abreu, the local freshman out of Indianapolis. And we have to punt it away again. We have not moved the ball at all here through the first quarter and a half. Here is a handoff. Dowdell. He has space. He's going to break free, and Nebraska scores right away. Well, this first half is getting ugly pretty fast as Nebraska takes the 24-point lead, and we still have 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Here is Cromwell right under pressure. He gets rid of it to Tariq Kiki for a first down catch. He is more of a blocking tight end than anything, but he catches the first down right there. Here's a handoff back to Doug Hennessy. A nice run, but what do you know it? A flag on the play and another holding call. This offensive line is going to kill us this year. We are playing a team that is much better than us up front, but still, these penalties are bad. Here's a lob pass out to the right side. It's Milo Brown, number 17, and he gets his first grab of the day for a gain of 19 yards. They sent the cover 0 on that play. Here's a 3rd and 4. Here's a throw across the middle. This one is incomplete. Looking again for Tariq Kiki, and now it's 4th and 4. At the 48, we're going for it. A short pass, this time caught. It's going to be caught by number 18, Randy Dennis. A receiver you have not seen before, but we want to give everybody opportunities. Here's a little wildcat this time. A little different look by the offense, and it works. Doug Hennessy scampers for a first down, a gain of 13. This time we put Liam Daroon there. He gives it off to Davis Lewiston, who goes for a gain of 15, I should say, as number 5 gets inside the 5. At the 3 now, 3rd and goal. This time Cromwell throws to the end zone. Tariq Kiki has it and cannot hold on. And instead, we're going to take the points here and kick a field goal. Instead of trying to get blanked out here in the first half, we just decide to add some points. And now it's 24-3. Raiola, though, has been rolling with this offense here in the first half. From the shotgun, Raiola throws across the middle. This one is caught at the 37-yard line for the first down. Raiola now throws across the middle again. This one's caught, and another first down catch. 24-3, and they're looking to score again. 30 seconds to go in the first half. A throw to the right side. This one is caught again by Jalen Lloyd, who's been busy today. They do end up punching it in 31-3 before half. And now here we go. Here's a kick return. Fumbled, and it's recovered by Nebraska. And this is kind of what happens. When you play an elite team like this, nothing goes right. And they end up kicking another field goal. 34-3 in the first half. In the second half, doesn't get much better. 37-3 here as we're midway through the third quarter as we fast forward a little bit. Here's a throw across the middle and looking for Stephen Abreu. 2 receivers running into each other, and it causes an interception and more turnovers, more chaos. It's just bad football here for Butler. Fast forwarding on to the fourth quarter now, 47-3. Here's a deep shot looking for Okiki, and he holds on to it for the first down. Anthony Pittman in at quarterback. A design screen out to left side. This one is going to be caught. That's the first appearance you're going to see from number 27, Horan Tonzel, who is a junior. Here is number 5 in the game, who actually every time he touches the ball does well. It's Davis Lewiston. He is 5'6" and like 200 pounds. He is a little bowling ball. We decide to sneak it there on a 4th and 1 as Anthony Pittman picks up the first down. Now they send a cover 0. Here's a throw across the middle. That one's caught. It's a touchdown to the freshman tight end, 3rd stringer Dominique Taylor. And fortunately, but unfortunately, it's our only touchdown of the evening up to this point. We end up getting blown out here by Nebraska. It wasn't even close from the beginning. 50-17 ends up being the final score. We ended up getting like a late bomb in the game. But Nebraska, we had no business being on the same field as them, to be honest with you. They definitely let their foot off the pedal there late. I didn't even show any of the second half highlights, really, because it just wasn't that close of a game. It was just ugly. I tried to get the ball to Doug Hennessy a little bit, but at some point when you're down by so much, you just have to throw the football. But we ended up getting some guys some playing time, so I did see some things I did see like from some of our backups. So as we get into the season, we'll start to rotate some of those guys a little bit more. Obviously, the next game we play Notre Dame, so it's not going to be a much easier opponent. I mean, Notre Dame, technically, overall-wise, is actually better than what we saw from Nebraska and Indiana, so this one could be ugly as well. But Davis Lewiston is a guy I want to highlight because he's going to start to get more playing time too. And as I start to figure out who does what well on this roster, guys are going to start to be highlighted here, especially just as storylines start to build. And I expect those storylines to start developing a lot more in conference play as we go up against teams that are kind of like us in this rebuild, more along our lines of overall. We are obviously one of the lowest overall teams in the game, but I definitely want to give guys like Lewiston a chance. Obviously, versus great teams like this, there's not going to be many opportunities just because I don't want guys to get hurt. I don't want to try anything too fancy. I don't want to, hurt guys' stats. I want to develop guys, and that's going to be a big portion of this season, really just developing the team. But Notre Dame is loaded from top to bottom. We know how good they are, but they are actually struggling here in this series so far in this season. They are 2-3, so they are looking for a tune-up game, and that's exactly what we are to them, a tune-up game, trying to get back on track after losing 3 of their first 5 games. But this is a team that is very, very good, both sides of the football, but obviously that hasn't translated to wins. But playing Butler is more or less playing like an FCS team, and we'll see if we can make this one a game. So here we go, game number 2 of this doubleheader. We are 2-2 technically. Our record does not look too bad, but here is the opening kickoff. Breaking a tackle is the returner around the edge. I have no idea what that defender was doing, but we eventually run him down at the 12-yard line. And that is Ken Camiano, who was the free safety, number 28, who pushed him out of bounds. He's going to get some playing time this year as well. But here's Notre Dame. First play, it's a touchdown. Are you surprised? It's Jeremiah Love who runs it in, and Notre Dame already opens up with a touchdown. So here we go on offense. Mitchell Cromwell trying to get the play off, and the play clock hits 0, delay of game. What a start. We give up the big return. We give up a first play touchdown on offense, and now here we are backed up 5 yards behind our original line of scrimmage. 1st and 15, Doug Hennessy. Even when he gets 2 yards, he gets pushed 5 yards backwards. 2nd and 13 now. Cromwell under pressure, and he just throws it to the closest guy to him. It's incomplete to Doug Hennessy. And now it's 3rd and 13. They send pressure. We throw it deep. It's Stephen Abreu who's got a step, and he goes up, and it gets knocked out of his hands, and he can't hold on. So we punt it away to Notre Dame. Here is more of Jeremiah Love, and he picks up a gain of 8 as they eventually do pick up the first down on the next play. Fresh set of downs here at the 44. Back to Love as he hits a crease on the edge. He gets around the outside and inside the 15. Gage Van eventually runs him down to save the touchdown. And now they're eventually inside the 10 now at the 8. Let me guess who they were going to go to. No, it's not Love. It's going to be a jet sweep, this time to Jalen Moss, their top wide out for the touchdown. And Notre Dame scores easily on their first couple of drives. Butler just trying to get a first down here on this drive. Here is a stretch play to the right. It's Doug Hennessy, but this defense is just way too fast. And now we're back at the 20, 2nd and 15. Carry the tackle in the backfield on Hennessy. It's another loss of 4. Tyson Ford just wreaks havoc in the backfield. 3rd and 19. More pressure on Cromwell. Bryce Young gets to him. And we will lose so many yards on those first 2 drives alone. And now we punt it away, and look where they are starting this next drive. At the 36-yard line. They're probably in field goal range already. Here is Jeremiah Love with the first carry of the next drive. Number 94 up front. I'm going to look for him to kind of make some plays. That's Sambo Wallace, who we highlighted, who had a big 2-sack game. He's going to play more and more in this series. I want to develop him. I do like what I see. He does make plays, but we need other guys to make plays as well. First and 10. Here's a throw to the end zone, and that is a deflection. That's number 15, Joshua McKenzie, a freshman safety. Handoff back to Love. This time bounces off of a blocker. He does pick up a first down. Does get tackled by McKenzie again, number 15. Now they run a man in motion. It's another jet sweep touch pass. This time the second touchdown of the game for Jalen Moss. And he does the gritty, and I mean, this is just not going to be a close game at all if we're down 21-0 in the first 6 minutes of this one. We start the next drive here, speed option. Cromwell cuts upfield, and it's another holding call. I mean, the penalties are just going to kill us, and I can't really tell if it's because our offensive line is that bad or the teams that we are playing just has such a better defensive line. Mitchell Cromwell now moves and takes off. He throws this one. It's caught by Milo Brown. He could have actually scrambled that one, decided to look for the big play, and instead gets called for the illegal forward pass. I mean, when it rains, it pours. We're back at the 10 for a 3rd and 25. Here is Cromwell getting hit on the throw, and it is incomplete. No way we go for a 4th and 25. We punt it away again. And look who's back to receive this one, Jeremiah Love. He breaks the tackle, still on his feet, getting to about the 29-yard line. And a good return to set him up in field goal range on this drive. As here comes the offense. Here's a throw, and that one's caught by Jalen Moss. It's been the Jalen Moss and Jeremiah Love show here in the first quarter. And we're still in the first quarter, mind you. Handoff, Love breaks a tackle, and he falls in. It's another touchdown. Make it 28-0 in favor of Notre Dame here. And it's a blowout in the first quarter. There's still 2 minutes to go in this quarter, by the way. Cromwell starts out this next drive at the 25. A read option. He keeps it. And finally, the biggest gain of the game will go for a gain of 10, maybe 11 yards as he stops short of the first down mark. 3rd and inches back to Hennessy. And he does pick it up. The first down of the game comes when we are down 28-0. Stephen Abreu gets the jet sweep touch pass, cutting up field as he picks up 3. I do want to find a way to use Abreu. He is one of our most shifty receivers. He does play on the slot. A quick throw back to him, and he holds on to it in traffic. That one ends the first quarter. 3rd and inches now back to Hennessy. Hennessy breaks a tackle and does spring free to the outside. No flags on the play, and we're across the 50 for the first time. Running a man in motion. Here's a short pass out to the middle of the field. It's Milo Brown who has it for a gain of 7. 3rd and 3 now at the 36. Stephen Abreu running in motion. We give it to him, and he will be stopped for a loss of 2. And it's 4th and 5, down by 4 scores. You just have to go for it in this situation. No choice. Cromwell under pressure right away, dumps it off to Hennessy. Hennessy stopped at the first down marker. He tried to run through that tackle, and it did not work. And now Notre Dame has possession, running a man in motion, giving it to him, hesitates, and breaks free, and gets behind the defense. He will take it the distance. It's a touchdown. And we have no shot in this one. And Notre Dame is just running all types of motions and honestly just doing whatever they want. 35-0 at that point. And I decide to fast forward here late in this game, 56-0. Nothing in between now and that second quarter was worth showing at all. It was just a lot of the same. A lot of domination. And late in this game, it's just more of the same from our team. More holding calls. 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs. Pressure on Cromwell. He goes down. And that will do it. 63-0 ends up being the final score in this game. And honestly, these were 2 games where we knew that we had no shot. And this is where we are in the rebuild. If you want a comparison to where we need to be, I mean, let these 3 non-conference games, the first one versus Indiana where we lost 51-7, and the 2 you've seen in this episode where we got blown out in back-to-back games on the road versus Nebraska and Notre Dame. It's going to be a long rebuild, but we will get there one day. Now, one thing I want to highlight, though, is that in conference play, we are going to run the ball a whole lot more. And I'm not going to be just a ground and pound team, but Doug Hennessy is probably the best offensive weapon we have. We are going to use him to the maximum. And I also, like I said, want to use Davis Lewiston because every time I see him play, he actually makes pretty good plays. So I do want to emphasize that we are going to use our backs and also use them in the passing game as well. Well, there's not all bad news in this episode. After those blowout wins, Quincy, Missouri ends up committing to the team. He is our first recruit in this series, maybe a trivia question for down the road. 91 throw power, 86 short and medium, and I just really like his ability to be a dual threat along with being a good arm talent. I think he's going to be able to make all the throws and is going to be kind of the pillar of this offense, in my opinion, and it's going to really surround him. I'm going to try to add another quarterback to the roster, not just him, but he's for sure going to be probably the best rated quarterback going into next year. Devon Mustard ends up committing. I talked about him last episode. He's 6'6", 244, very raw in his ability, but the fact that he is that size, I think could play well for him. I think he's going to be a much needed defensive player that has that athleticism to maybe be a stopper on the defensive side of the ball. We do add another offensive weapon, though, to our offense in Jamichael Kiernan. Kiernan has 91 speed. He does have a couple of mental abilities, but I am excited to add some real speed to the offense. So he will be maybe the top target coming into next season with Quincy, Missouri. And then Tavarius Gallo, who I wanted badly, he ends up committing to Ohio instead. So we will continue our season, our first season of this series. And now it's all about American Athletic Conference play. And this is how everybody's shaped out. Valparaiso is actually the best team in the conference so far. They've already played 7 games up to this point to our 5, but they have had no byes. So we played them towards the end of the season. But this is what our schedule kind of looks like. We go up against Army next episode, then Temple. Then we play Charlotte, who's undefeated. South Dakota State, UTSA, Valparaiso. Then we end the season versus Xavier. And those last 2 games of the year will be rivalry games. So we had a couple of games where we got to see what we do well. And I think I know the game plan going into next episode. And we'll see if it works against Army as we continue conference play where we actually are undefeated. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.